Hey guys, how's it going? Happy Friday. Welcome to Jason Unleashed. The weekend is here, although it feels like it's the weekend every single day because, this is the new normal, right? How's it going, guys? I'm good. I'm still desperately in need of a haircut. So I'm trying to, hey Clyde, I'm trying to make sure that things stay nice and fresh, but it's getting harder and harder, a black man struggle. But I hope you guys are doing okay, staying busy, staying safe, making sure you're wearing your, I use my lip balm as a prop. Making sure you're staying safe and social distancing and all that good stuff. Hi everyone in the comments below. Again, you guys, if you missed the interview here today, you can go to my YouTube channel and it's gonna be there as well. Super cool guest today. It's Friday, Drag Race airs tonight on VH1, so I had to get you someone from the show, one of my good friends, Mr. Carson Kressley. He's awesome fashion expert, reality TV gold. He's going to be on in just a few. I'm just waiting for him to come into the chat room. He'll be on in a second. But I hope you guys are doing well. You can comment below. You can sign into the DMs with comments. If you have questions for Carson, let me know. Did I watch the Grey's finale? The Grey's finale has already happened. I have not watched the Grey's Anatomy finale yet. Really? Wow. That was one of the questions below. Did I watch the Grey's finale? You guys know I'm a huge Grey's fan. I've been watching since season 1. And I haven't been watching this season, though, because there's just so much to watch, right? So much to watch. Just waiting for Carson to come in. Also, it's been raining nonstop here in Los Angeles. Luckily, today it stopped raining, so that's a good thing. But when you have a dog and you got to walk the dog and the rain, it really sucks. It sucks. Let's see. Hi, everyone. All right, you guys. So yes, Carson, he is one of the judges on Drag Race. As you guys know, he's been on since I think season 7. He came onto the show in 2015. This guy's incredible. Not only is he a fashion expert, he is a interior designer. He has all these just really cool projects. He's an author. Carson's an author. He's written 4 books. He's an author, and we're going to go into another really cool fun fact I discovered about Carson later on in the interview that blew my mind, but it's really cool. It's really interesting. I'll let him tell you about that, but he should be on in just a few, just waiting for him to chime in to the chat room. Munchkin, say hi.
What's up?
That's baby's, my husband, Munchkin. He's upstairs with the dog. I don't know, but babe, what are you doing?
Working.
Oh, he's working. What's the best salad dressing? Italian. The question. Hey, Nicole Paige Brooks. Hey, Nicole. Drag Race royalty there as well. Let me see if I can go and find Carson. Give me a second, guys. Oh, there we go. Carson, view. Carson Kressley. Carson Kressley. Can we talk this morning? Coming up in just a few, waiting for him to connect. And you guys, welcome Carson to the show.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So how's you're in New York right now, so it's what, noon over there?
I am it is noon. I'm actually at my farm in Pennsylvania because I wasn't working. I was doing a project in Montreal. And then I came right here because the pandemic was unfolding, and I've been hiding here since March 11th. So I'm alive and well, and thrilled to be talking to you. You look so good. You have such good lighting.
Oh, thank you. Hey, we're making do with what we have here, Carson. You look great as well. Good to see you. Thanks for being on the show. I'm glad you're doing well. So,
of course.
How are you adjusting to this new normal?
I am. Well, of course, I'm very concerned about all my friends and my people in New York, and I've lived there for 30 years. So, aside from that worry, and aside from not working, I'm actually adjusting really well. This is the first time I've actually, normally I'm flying around. I don't live in LA, but when we make Drag Race, I'm in LA, and I was doing a sitcom in Montreal, and I'm used to just flying all over the place and being very busy.
Yeah.
So to be stuck at home is really unusual for me, but I've been embracing it. Sorry, I'm trying to find the best light.
You found it. You found it.
I've been trying to embracing having a routine. I get up and I make a smoothie, and then I do a couple of these, and then I do emails, maybe some work calls, trying to drum up some biz for when we get back to it. And or work out. I go see my horses. I ride. It's oh my gosh, this is what a life is like. You get to do stuff.
Carson, that's one of the things that I've been talking to with a lot of my guests is like our lives came to this kind of screeching halt, especially being in Hollywood and in entertainment. It's go, 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 go. And now we've stopped and we're figuring out, okay, well, if I'm not used to going, what am I doing? But you brought up horses, which was one of the most interesting things that I love about you is that you are an equestrian. You've raised saddle horses for your whole life. Tell us about that.
I have. That is my, you know, everybody has their thing. Like you have your work thing that you're passionate about, and I love what I do. But the flip side of that coin is that I've always loved horses, and I grew up in a horsey family.
In Kentucky.
In Pennsylvania, but a lot of time in Kentucky as well, because the all of the big competitions are in Kentucky. So I kind of like spent my childhood in like Lexington and Louisville, Kentucky. So it's just something I've always done. Look, there's a painting of one right there. And it's a great passion. You get to wear amazing clothes. The people that I grew up doing this with are like a second family because, you know, it's all the same people and all the same families for like 30 and 40 years. So when I go to a competition, they're like, oh, hey, it's just like, you know, like a family reunion. So that's really nice. And then the horses themselves are great. And they're very spiritual and kind and athletic and exciting. And sometimes they're scary. Yeah, they're like guys, you know, you never know what you're going to get.
But it's fitting because horses, you worked at Ralph Lauren. It's, you know, it's all this, you know, part of your manifestation, I would say, Carson.
Yeah, I mean, it all makes sense. I mean, just being who you authentically are and navigating this world. And yeah, I worked for Ralph Lauren for a long time, and certainly like coming from a horsey background helped in the theater of working there and the merchantainment of Ralph Lauren, which was a great, amazing, I tell people all the time, it was like the Devil Wears Prada, except everyone was preppy and very nice.
So oh, everyone was very nice. I was going to ask you, who was the Miranda Priestley?
We did have a Miranda Priestley type who supposedly a little bit of that character is modeled after this person that I can't mention. But she would do things like there would be like we'd be working on a fashion show, like in a basement of a palazzo in Milan. And we'd be looking at like, you know, samples on a table, and she'd be like, I need a piece of suede to tie back my hair. And I was like, okay, let me get that for you. And I was like, where am I going to find a piece of suede at like 2 in the morning on a Thursday in Milan? So I just found an old, like a new suede shirt that was probably like $800. It was a sample. And I cut the bottom of it off, and like 2 seconds later, I appeared, and I was like, "Here's your suede." But that's what you would do, and that was actually a great lesson for me. And I tell this to like young people, contestants on Drag Race, people that want to enter the fashion business. You just, when you're young and in those early positions, you just have to figure out everything and just make it work, and not be like, we don't have suede. Like, no is not an answer. Like, you're just going to have to figure it out and do what you have to do to get the job done. So I learned a lot of that there.
Well, you mentioned Drag Race, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Drag Race, but you bring a lot of that to the judges panel when you are sometimes reading the queens, because Carson,
Right.
you definitely have a sharp tongue sometimes. It must be that Scorpio in you.
It must be. Yeah.
But we'll get to Drag Race in a moment. I want to talk about just your career. First of all, you're reality TV gold. You've been, Carson, I can't even begin to run the laundry list of shows you've been on, pageants you've judged. You're an author.
I know. New York Times best-selling author. Can you believe it?
I can believe it, but we came to love you as part of the Fab Five and
yes.
QUERR. I know, look, we spent a lot of time on set. I mean, I'm sure this is the most clothed you've ever seen me.
I know, it's making me uncomfortable. Can you take your shirt off?
Well, look, you can have a nipple through the shirt. How about that?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's a very tight shirt. Are you getting enough circulation? Okay, yeah, you are.
Yeah, it's you know, it's the new me. But we came to love you in the Fab Five, 2004. You're an Emmy winner for QUERR. that experience, I'm sure you get asked this all the time, but I've never had the chance to talk to you about just being on Queer Eye and what that meant for you and your career, but also for LGBTQ plus, because that was one of
Right.
one of the first reality shows for our community that has since spawned, of course, a spinoff on the new iteration on Netflix. But
Right.
for you back then, tell us about that experience, because again, reality TV gold.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was really, I mean, that was a serendipitous thing. I mean, I had no idea that I could ever even work in television. Like, sometimes when I was a kid, I would sit in the bathroom in the bathtub and read the back of shampoo bottles like a voiceover and be like, maybe I can do that. Because I, this space, television, I don't think so. Anyway, I was working at Ralph Lauren, and one of my producers that helped organize all of our photo shoots was like, you should try out for this show called Queer Eye. It's going to be on Bravo. And I was like, what's Bravo? A nonstick cooking spray? I've never heard of that. And, but I did. And it was, it was my, international velvet moment. Like, Elizabeth Taylor, like, found her perfect vehicle in International Velvet. I found my perfect vehicle in Queer Eye. I was perfectly suited for it, because the thing is, we all really were experts in our field. We were all, successfully either stylists or interior designers or food professionals or grooming experts. So we were just doing our job, and we didn't really have any kind of political or activist kind of, thoughts about it. We were just going to do great work and try to bring people joy through living a little better to get the job or the look or the girl. And that really resonated with people. And I think what was interesting is that there really hadn't been a full gay crew that was out and themselves on TV. Yes, there had been shows like Queer as Folk and Will and Grace, but these were all characters that were scripted. And something about just being real people being on television. I would get little old ladies in airports say, I never knew a gay person till I knew you, and you're pretty great. And I was like, have you never been on an airplane? Have you never had your hair highlighted? My God, how have you not run into the gays? But it was a very almost subversive way of gaining people's support, because it was very non-threatening. We were just trying to do good work and have a lot of laughs. I think humor is really important. And although we took our work really seriously, we didn't take ourselves too seriously. And reality TV is a very intimate medium. You're just being yourself. Cameras are following you, doing what you're doing. And you're in people's living rooms and you're in their bedrooms. And they really, I think as a reality person, they really feel like they know you. It's your real name. It's your real personality. It's the real job that they're getting to know. So I think that in a very kind of colloquial way just broke down barriers. Now, I have to say, one of the people that I admired so much, who I think is a real pioneer in reality TV and someone who was gay and so brave and honest and beautiful, was Pedro Zamora on The Real World.
I mean, Carson, that first of all, you're right. That was very powerful. He was very powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
just The Real World was the first, and just he was, at a time in the '90s when AIDS was. I mean, AIDS is still a global pandemic, yes, but back in the '90s, it was so much more dire than it is now, and Pedro Zamora really just authentically and viscerally and unequivocally was the poster child for being raw and revealing. Yeah, I'm really glad you touched on that, because even for me as a young gay boy growing up watching The Real World, it was so, God, I can't even articulate the words for how that's not even that storyline, but just seeing his journey, how powerful that was.
Oh my God, it was so impactful to me that, it's like 30 years later and it still like resonates with me. And I just thought, wow, this guy is so incredible and so brave. And just, that was one of the first gay people that I saw on TV representing. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're doing us proud. So maybe we, carried that torch a little bit further, but we didn't really have any intentions of, changing how people felt about LGBT people. But I'm glad it worked. And the best thing about that experience besides it being a great career thing for me, and I have an Emmy, and I'm just like, what? Is that I will still, you know, I'll go on an airplane and like I'll be like midway through flight, and the flight attendant will be a cute guy, and he'll hand me an envelope, a little napkin, and I'm just like, what's this? And it says, "Dear Mr. Kressley, thank you so much. I grew up watching your show with my parents, and because of the show, we were allowed to have a dialogue, and it was so much easier for me to come out. And you, especially, made my life better." And I'm like on the plane, like bawling. I'm already a plane baller. Like if I watch The Notebook, or even Mamma Mia made me cry on a plane. So something about the altitude makes me very emotional. So
No, the altitude and the Bloody Marys in first class make you a little emotional.
Maybe it was my Xanax. I don't know, but the moral of the story is that when I get a note like that, or somebody who's like 25 or 30 tells me that story, that, you know, they watched the show when they were 10 or 12, and their parents laughed along with us, and they felt a sigh of relief that, oh, maybe I'm going to be okay. And maybe they're going to be okay with me. And I never had that. My growing up was one of constant fear and, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And how do I hide this? And they're not going to love me, and I'm going to get kicked out of the house. And so I just, you know, I've had a great life, but I do remember those times as being like 10, 11, 12, 13, like coming of age and like wanting to like kiss a boy and go to the prom and just all of that angst.
Yeah.
So to alleviate that,
right.
It's pretty great.
That, Carson, your story mirrors many of, I mean, myself included. We know you're young, you don't know what's going on, you feel different, but yet you're bombarded with these images of heteronormative life that you're trying to associate with authentically, that just aren't resonating with you. And then you feel like, well, why is this not feeling normal to me? You mentioned that on the show, QUERR, that you guys didn't set out to become these safe spaces for LGBTQ plus. But Carson, since then, I mean, you've done so much. Now you're back on the show that is even bigger, that has that is iconic. It's a global phenomenon. It's another safe space for our community. That's Drag Race.
Yes.
Full circle, man. Like, what an indirect altruistic way of life, you know, because now you're a mainstay. You're part of something that's taking that message even further. Coming to Drag Race, season 7, right? Season 7, yes?
Yeah, season 7. It was
2015.
Like 6 years ago.
Yeah, when you got on the show, when World of Wonder and VH1 said, "Hey, Carson, are you game?" What did you do? What did you say? How did that come about? How did getting on the show happen?
Actually, and this is also a great showbiz lesson, that you should always, you know, I've always said yes to a variety of things. And sometimes agents or managers will be like, I don't see what the end game is. Why would you want to do Dancing with the Stars or this or that or whatever? Yeah. First of all, I need to work, okay? A hoe's got to buy chandeliers. So I like to work, and I like to, you know, earn a living. But the moral of the story is, and William Shatner said this, and he is like strangely a friend of mine from Showing Horses. And he ascribes to like the say yes theory, like say yes, figure it out later. And he did some unconventional things in his career, like doing a Priceline commercial when people didn't do that. And he's loaded now because of it, never has to work. So I try to do that. And I've said yes to a wide variety of projects. And one of those projects that was just a fun little like aside was a show called Skin Wars on the Game Show Network. And it was hosted by Rebecca Romaine. And it was where people were body painting artists. And they would have to paint somebody, a model, like a naked person in tiny like pasties to look like a wall of a grocery store. And they would have to stand there for hours to like match a row of like baked beans. So one of the judges, the permanent judge on that show, was Rupaul. And it's very like 6 degrees of like separation. Like the woman who produced that show for Game Show Network was the original person who greenlit Queer Eye. She loved me, so it was like, we have to have you on the show. She loved Rue, and she's like, he has to be on the show all the time. And she's like, the two of you are like kindred spirits. You need to like be on together. So we were on the show together. I was only there for one day. And then Rue, in typical fashion, is like, chatting me up. He's like, now, why aren't you on my show? And I was like, I don't think anyone's ever asked me to be on your show. He's like, oh, we have. I was like, what? I was like, well, let me get to the bottom of that. And a couple weeks later, Rue called my phone, and I was in Asheville, North Carolina at a horse show. I still have the voicemail saved on my phone, like from 7 years ago. And he said, we really want you to do this. And I was like, I'm totally game, just whatever you want. And that was it. And I've been doing it since 2015, I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. Season 7, season 8, season 9, 10, 11, 12, hopefully another season. And a lot of all-stars. And it's just, it's a great, what it's like because you're there. And people say, what's it like being on Drag Race? I say it's a very positive experience because it's a family environment, and it's a very homespun show, and everybody's really been there since the beginning, mostly. And Rue sets the tone that, like, we're not like curing cancer. We're here to have a great time. We're here to get a job done. We're here to help somebody become America's next drag superstar and shine a light on a really amazing art form, and to highlight amazingly talented people who might have been underdogs and might have been kind of kicked to the curb and might have not had a great life up until now. Some of them have had great experiences, but it's still not easy being a drag queen.
It's not.
Like walking to a parking lot, to get your car behind some, sketchy bar that used to be in an Arby's in rural North Carolina. Like, it can be scary.
Right.
So it's great to be part of this positive, celebratory, fun, artistic, creative, and then the humor and the fun and the great guest judges. There's so many fun elements to the show. Like, the first day is like the first day of school, and you're like, oh my God, I'm sitting next to Nicki Minaj for 6 hours. Thank you, Jesus.
Carson, when I walk into the workroom on the first day and see like the new cast, it's always so like, wow, because the show is heavily protected. It's very sequestered. It's a competition show, so they're always protecting the integrity of the show. But right. I love how you mentioned, it's fun. I always say being on set for Drag Race is like a bag of Skittles. You open it up, you never know what flavor you're going to get, but it's always going to be yummy and delicious, and just
right.
It's a lot of fun. You, on the judges panel, have the best one-liners. And your comedy when you're critiquing the runway looks is incredible.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll take it. I think everybody is so good. I mean, Michelle Visage has great one-liners, and of course Ross is also wildly funny. And then Rue always has the best ones. I mean, just insane. So again, that's a time when we're usually having a great time, and people are like, now who writes those for you? I was like, girl, it is like we are just flying by the seat of our pants. And I said, you should hear all the ones that don't make it in the show that are just terrible, the womp 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 moments.
But no, I always say that too, that there's someone, I'm sure there's so many great moments that are left on the cutting room floor. But when you're critiquing the girls, the queens, are there times where you think like, damn, I was a little too rough, I was a little too harsh, that didn't come out right? Or do you always do you stand by every critique you get?
Yeah, I don't really, first of all, I don't think I'm that, I don't think I'm that tough. And I try to be, I don't like the judging thing. Like, people are like, how dare you judge them? I'm like, that's my job. Like, that's why I'm there. And also, I'm really old, and I've seen and done a lot, and I have some experience. But I also feel like I'm almost like a coach. Like, I think our job as a judge is to say, this is what the specifications for the challenge were. And did you achieve that? It doesn't matter if you were fabulous or amazing or looked insane or like did everything great. If it wasn't what was supposed to be, if it wasn't on the recipe for success for that particular day, then I can't help you. I can't judge again. If I don't have criteria, I can't judge. You have to be subjective or objective, and you have to judge against the criteria. So I try to just keep it very, very fair. I try to be nice about it because I really do view myself. I think all of us judges want everyone on the show to do well. And the point of a critique is to say, this is what you did well according to the criteria, and this is what you missed the mark on. So you can fix that for next week so you can stay in the competition, because everybody who's there, and Rue says this all the time, deserves to be there or they wouldn't be there. And we're just trying to give them the critique. So to answer your question, a very long-winded ADD, ooh, look, there's a bird moment, is that, yeah, I really do stand by my critiques. I think we all put a lot of thought into it and want to give them the best possible information so they can improve their craft and stay on the show.
Yeah. Great. I think, like I said, when I watch the show and you, I mean, there's times when you're not on, and there's times when, you know, but I think that when you and Michelle and Rue get to cutting up, it's television gold. It's television gold.
Thank you. Yeah, we just, you know, we like each other. We're also from the same era, so we have all the same references. Like, I don't know, it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was like, you're like Wayland and Madam. And like Rue and Michelle are like, did you just mention Wayland and Madam? Like, nobody's going to know. They dropped in a visual of who Wayland and Madam was. And I was just like, okay, that's funny.
Yeah. Author, you've written books, you've been on television, you've even done Dancing with the Stars. Season 13.
Yes.
And I watched all the videos, Carson. You weren't that bad.
You're so prepared.
I mean, I am a journalist, Carson. I'm more than just a guy in his underwear, Carson.
I know. You're the total package.
Literally.
Thank you for doing all that research, by the way. Most people don't do all that. So, but yeah, I just, you know, I tried to approach Dancing with the Stars and any of those shows where I'm not really in my element, with just enthusiasm and joy, because the thing that I always think about any television project is that I can't believe they're letting me do this. Like, I can't believe they haven't figured out that, you know, it's just me. So I'm just like, oh my God, they think I can do this. Great. Let's fake them out. So that's why I did everything.
But I mean, like, you've done so much, and there's no pinnacle. You haven't reached the zenith of your career, but after we emerge from hibernation from this pandemic and we get back to the new normal,
yeah,
because that's what does the future hold for Carson?
A very tall man named Luigi. No, I don't know. I think we just have to, you know, this pandemic is the perfect example of, like, you know, make plans and then God laughs at them. So we just have to learn how to roll with it. And what I'm going to take forward is that it's okay to not always be super busy and frantic, and you can live with less, and you can be more peaceful. And this has really allowed me to be like, listen, life is short and it's insane and it's crazy. Like, do things that bring you joy. And if in this period you're not missing something, then you don't need that in your life going forward. I miss work. I love that. But all the hustle and bustle and all the, like, frills and all that stuff, really don't need it. Like, just, this has really taught me to, like, simplify.
Yeah.
And then I'll see you, like, at season 1, the next taping of Drag Race, and I'll have like 18 Louis Vuitton bags, and I'll be like in a convertible. I don't need anything, but that's how I feel right now.
Those are your essentials. You need your essentials, though. You can't live without the essentials.
I do need a simple bag, yes.
Because I need a simple Birkin. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right?
No. It is a basic. It is a basic.
Carson, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me everywhere: Facebook, Instagram. I might even start doing TikTok. My gosh, I have enough time on my hands.
I got on TikTok. It's epic. Do it.
Is it? I don't know how to. When someone's like lip syncing, like, I want to, like, run around in my closet and put on a million different outfits, and I want to sing I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Do it.
Sexy. But how do you, like, edit the videos so you know what to lip sync at the right time
you can hear
Oh.
the song before you start. So you can choose the song, and obviously you know the song. So just choose the song, and then when you pick the song, it tells you the snippet it's going to use, and just go from there. It's really easy.
Oh, okay. It seemed very like, how did they merge all these things and know what part of the song you're singing? And okay, I'll give it a try.
Give it a try. Give it a try.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here with me this morning, Carson, and we'll see you tonight on Drag Race.
Yes, at 8 o'clock on VH1.
Awesome. Have a great day, and Carson, you're the best. Thanks, man.
No, you are. This was really good. You're very, very talented, and you're prepared, and you're going to do big things, Jason Carter.
I appreciate that, Carson. Thank you, man. Have a great day. Have a good weekend.
Bye. You too.